What would you say? Damage to armor and damage to target out of cover. Do they boost your skill damage? Let's talk about it. Are you ready? Let's go! What up YouTube? Welcome to another Division 2 video. Thanks for clicking my content. Really appreciate you joining me. If you like my content and want to help the channel out, don't forget to smash that like button. And today we're gonna talk about if damage to armor and or damage to target out of cover boosts your skill damage in any way. Because I got a lot of questions about my Fox's Prayer addition to my skill builds. Like you know, I still like to do a little bit damage with my gun, so adding the damage to target out of cover on my skill builds helps me sleep at night. But does it help for your skills? Does the damage to target out of cover or the damage to armor help in any way? Let's test it out on the shooting range. And before we walk in, guys, I want to show you the builds that I'm using. Because if we walk in, then we are in combat and we cannot change our gear anymore. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, this is the build with nothing on there. No damage to armor and no damage to target whatsoever. So we will have 123.179 damage for the turret. And for the drone, it's 77k and 21. So keep in mind, 123.1 and 77.02. So these are the damages for my turret and my drone on this build, without damage to target out of cover, without damage to armor. And then I got two builds more. Of course, the one that I'm always using with the damage to target out of cover on there. Let's equip that and show you the skill damages. Exactly the same, as you can see, 123.179 and 77.021. So the skill damage that we're gonna test out on the shooting range will be exactly the same. Of course, we're talking base damage then. Then over to the third build, and of course that's the one with the damage to armor on there. Exactly the same, 3 pieces of Empress International, 2 pieces of Hanyu, and only of course changed then the damage to target out of cover to damage to armor with the Petrov gloves. Let's see what those skill damages do. Exactly the same, 123.179 and the next one 77.021. So as you can see, these builds are exactly the same, guys, for skill damage, and of course then changing the damage to target out of cover, damage to armor on there, or nothing. So let's start with nothing. No damage to target out of cover, no damage to armor, but still that red core on there, of course. And let's see if we walk in what kind of damage we do. We have, of course, the invulnerable elite, or, oh yeah, let's switch it to invulnerable elite because we having some armor, of course. Invulnerable elite, 5 meters. I'm on heroic. Let's test it out. I'm only using the kinetic momentum on my vest. I'm not shooting anything, so this will only be the one proc, the kinetic momentum. Let's see what it does on the turret. So without damage to armor, without the damage to target whatsoever. Let's see what the turret does. 160.133. Let's keep it a little bit longer. As you can see, it stays exactly the same. 160k and 133. Let's pick it up and see what our drone does. Let's wait a little bit on the kinetic momentum, be back. It's strange, but they both need to be active to show you the full damage. And let's see, there it goes, calling in my drone, calling it on the enemy, and what does it do? 100k and 127. So let's keep it there a little bit. Still the same, as you can see, 100k and 127. So let's destroy this, walk out, because we need to walk out to change over to our next gear. Or our next build, of course. Okay, let's switch over to the one that I'm always using with the damage to target out of cover on there. Gonna show you once more 123.179 and the 77.021 as the base damage. Exactly the same. Let's walk in and see if the damage to target out of cover will boost our skills. Let's wait a little bit on kinetic momentum to hit that proc again, and then we're gonna call in the turret and the drone. And there we go. Calling in the turret, max cap, shooting, and 160.133. So 160k and 133. Exactly the same as the last build that I showed you, without the damage to target out of cover on there. So now we know that the damage to target out of cover doesn't apply to your skills. Let's see what the turret does. Of course, we need to wait a little bit until kinetic momentum is proc, so don't worry. I think this still will go to that 100 and 127. Let's see, and there it is. 100k and 127. As you can see, exactly the same for the drone as well. So let's switch over to the damage to armor. Let's see if that does a little bit of damage for our skills. And switching over to, of course, the third build. And that's this one, the second build for me. It's the damage to armor on there. Let's equip it. I'm gonna show you once more. 123.179. And for the drone, 77.021. So exactly the same base damage. Let's walk in again. As you can see, invulnerable elite, heroic still. Let's wait on the kinetic momentum to proc. Then call in our turret, and after that our drone again, and see if the damage to armor does something for your skills. Let's call in the turret. Let's see, 160.133. So 160k and 133. Exactly the same as the damage to target out of cover and the build that we started with, without any extra damage to target out of cover or damage to armor. So we can call in the drone again. Let's wait on the kinetic momentum to proc, of course. Then we're probably gonna hit that 100 and 127 again, showing you that the damage to armor and the damage to target out of cover do not help for your skill damage. There it is, 100k and 127. So the damage to target out of cover and the damage to armor won't apply for your skill damage. So this is a mystery solved, you would say. But the big question now is it best in slot to go for damage to armor or damage to target out of cover? For a full skill build? No, it isn't. But for me, like I explained, I still want to do some weapon damage. I still want to work together with my skills, and then with the damage to target out of cover on there and red core, I will do a lot more weapon damage. And yeah, that's just the way I am. I'm not sitting in the corner watching a movie waiting until all my skills done the job. No, I like that synergy of shooting and skill damage. But it doesn't apply for your skill damage. And I hope this little video showed you that, the proof that the damage to target out of cover and the damage to armor won't apply for your skill damage. But let me know what you think about this, guys. Did you know this already, or is this a whole new world for you? But for today, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribers button. And of course the notification bell. PurePrime out!